next trick, we're going to be teaching shake a paw. Now we only need a few things for this trick. First of all, as usual, some really good treats the dog is willing to work for. Our clicker, or you can use a verbal marker if you prefer. And we're also going to need some kind of target. I have here a yogurt lid, but you could use a post-it note, a little piece of paper, anything like that. And of course, we also need our dog, which I'll go get. Okay, for the first step of this trick, we're actually going to come onto the ground. In my left hand, I'm going to have my clicker and a few treats. And you want to be all, oops, get it. You want to be all ready before you put the Tupperware lid down. I'm going to try to move her a little bit so you can see. Good girl. Now, if your dog isn't very familiar with offering behavior or targeting with their paw, this might take a little longer. So what we're going to do anyway is just go ahead and capture her touching this lid with her paw. So I'm going to put it on the ground, and there she scraped it a little bit, and I'm going to throw the treat away so we can reset her to try again. She's got a little bit of a paw touch while she's giving me more of a nose touch. Oh, there's a good one. Good girl. Again, this might be a little bit slower with your dog if they're not used to offering, or if they're not used to using their paws. Good. Now I'm going to take that really solid paw touch. There it is. I'm getting a little bit of nose too, but that's okay. Good girl. Once again, I'm throwing the treat away to reset her to try again. Good girl. Okay. All right, in our next step, once she's reliably touching the target with her paw, what we're going to do is once again, whoops, in your left hand, clicker and treats, and in your right hand, you're going to hold the target, but we're going to go right to the ground because that's what she's used to, and see if she can give us a paw target down there. Okay. Good girl. Again, I'm going to throw the treat away to reset her. Good girl. So I'm holding the target, but very low. Good girl. Here we go, a little bit of a bow too. Good girl. Now once we're getting that reliably, you can start to lift the target a little bit. That. Good girl. It's okay if you get a nose, we'll just ignore that and wait for the paw. Good girl. Okay. Our last step is to fade the target. So once again, we have our treats and our clicker in our left hand and our target in our right. So now that it's quite high and we're getting the paw, I'm going to try just offering my hand. Good girl. This is a little bit confusing for Ember because her regular cue of an open hand is to offer her chin. Good girl, but I am getting some paw. If I wasn't, I would go back to the target. A little bit lower. Sometimes we need to back up in our training, and that's just fine. Good girl. If you are having trouble fading the target out, another thing that you could do is cut the target a little bit smaller and then a little bit smaller again until it's teeny tiny, and then try getting rid of it. Good girl. You can see it's still a bit confusing to her. because of that old cue. Good girl, and that's your shake a paw.